On today's That Park Place Daily Countdown, The Marvels is on track to have the wrong kind of record-breaking opening. Nintendo's Shigeru Miyamoto delivers the good and bad news that we're getting a live-action Legend of Zelda movie. HBO and Max start making grown-up decisions about their streaming business. A beloved Disney MGM Studios attraction gets an update. A rumor says who's going to be running Lucasfilm next. And Disney revives the part of Star Wars that George Lucas hated the most. All that on today's That Park Place.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Ah, yes, the good old Bill Rogers there. Sad that he is leaving, but Jonas, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Welcome one and all to That Park Place's daily news countdown, where we like to go through streaming, theme park, entertainment, and video game news here with our contributors from across the web. Vash, I didn't get to ask you, you doing well?
I am doing absolutely fantastically. We had an amazing live stream the other day, finding out all kinds of interesting things about the Walt Disney Company. So I am doing just fantastic.
Awesome. I was kind of hoping you had that big echoey voice, but still on. Well, let's get going to all of our contributors for all the news that should be fun.
Number 1.
Jonas J. Campbell here with our first story. This one out of The Hollywood Reporter. It looks like the Marvels may only muster a $60 to $65 million box office opening. I'm going to tell you, it's getting worse than that. We're hearing $43 million from some sources. This story by Pamela McClintock. 3 weeks ago, the Marvels was tracking to open at $75 to $80 million at the domestic box office. While that's not a huge sum for a title in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it was a respectable number. Now, however, the female-fronted superhero pick may only clear $60 to $65 million in what would mark one of the lowest starts ever for Kevin Feige's storied Marvel Studios, and likely the lowest if you adjust for inflation. Just for reference here, it says that Captain Marvel opened to $153.4 million in North America, on its way to earning a massive $1.13 billion worldwide, not adjusted for inflation. I'm going to recommend you go check out the article itself, which talks about the box office for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which by most accounts is the best MCU film this year at around $863 million, best by box office standards and probably also by quality. Down here it says that 2008's Incredible Hulk holds the record for the lowest domestic opening at $55.4 million, not adjusted for inflation. So what do you think? Are you going to see the Marvels this weekend? I think that I probably am going to have to see it myself. It's also worth noting that the gloves have come off as people are reviewing this film very poorly. And what do you think that the Marvels is going to make at the box office? Let us know in the comments below.
Number 2.
Right now, there is no doubting the massive changes media is undergoing because, well, of streaming. The decisions being made now on all fronts, from film to television, will shape our viewing experiences for decades to come. Casey Bloys, the CEO of HBO and Max Content, addressed some of these changes at a recent event that we should probably be paying attention to. Hi folks, it's CC again for That Park Place with a story inspired by Deadline's Dade Hayes, who has been doing some great work on this type of subject. First up, let's discuss licensing and the wonders of profit. A few months ago, we heard that HBO licensed select shows like Ballers to Netflix. On the face of it, the move appeared surprising given recent industry trends. CEO of HBO and Max, Casey Bloys, doesn't see it that way. In fact, he's quite comfortable with it. He believes in protecting successful shows, but he also recognizes the legacy of syndication, and he embraces it. Content budgets are another crucial piece of the puzzle. In all things streaming, spending must be carefully considered. Bloys knows the margins and return on investment. He also knows linear TV still has its place, even if streaming is where the world is heading. The recent WGA strike has had its impact, and the settlement between the Writers Guild and the AMPTP has increased costs for studios. Yet Bloys seems undeterred and won't let the strike alter his approach. And now for that elephant in the room, the topic of password sharing. Netflix has a firm stance on this issue, and it's on the to-do list for Max. While Netflix has an advantage as a first mover, every streaming service is thinking about it. So, what do you think? Do you think the mixed focus on linear and streaming television is a winner? Will HBO and Max continue to distinguish themselves with great content for the future? And are you interested in more discussions like this one about the world of streaming and television? Please let us know down in the comments section below.
Number 3.
Hello, this is Lorena of the Lorena Creole YouTube channel, keeping it real when it comes to theme parks. And speaking of keeping it real, Disney has finally refurbished the seating at Muppet Vision 3D, and it looks fabulous. Coming to us from WDW News today, Disney is starting to replace the crusty old Muppet Vision 3D seats in Disney's Hollywood studios, which we reported on earlier this year. They have also replaced the once faded and dirty banners outside the attraction. And you can see in the picture here what the seats look like now. Bright red, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now, I was in Muppet Vision 3D about a month ago, and the seats were still kind of not so great. So looking forward to checking it out. And these banners I did see on a recent visit about 2 years ago. I went to see Galaxy's Edge, but I did see these beautiful banners here outside of Muppet Vision 3D. As you can see over here on the left, you've got one with a Kermit-inspired M on it, and the right has 3D on it right under Animal hanging upside down there. And as you can see, the colors pop more than they once did. And in addition, there's also new projection mapping effects as well. Now, I did see these mapping effects, so these effects were put in before they updated the seats. So how do you feel about these upgrades made to Muppet Vision 3D? Does it make you excited to make another trip and see this fabulous Muppets attraction at Disney's Hollywood Studios? Let us know in the comments.
Number 4.
Hello, this is John Trent, the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounding Into Comics. Today I got a story about Kevin Feige being rumored to leave Marvel and jump ship and join Star Wars following Avengers Secret Wars. This latest rumor comes from Scooper My Time to Shine. Hello, he reports on X. Kevin Feige is thinking about leaving Marvel after Secret Wars and take over the Star Wars franchise. This isn't the first time that Kevin Feige has been attached to Star Wars. In fact, if you go all the way back to 2019, Disney Studios co-chairman Alan Horn confirmed that Feige had plans to produce a Star Wars film. He told The Hollywood Reporter back in 2019, "We are excited about the projects Kathy and the Lucasfilm team are working on, not only in terms of Star Wars, but also Indiana Jones, and reaching into other parts of the company, including Children of Blood and Bone, which has now been canceled with Emma Watts and Fox. With the close of the Skywalker saga, Kathy is pursuing a new era in Star Wars storytelling, and knowing what a diehard fan Kevin is, it made sense for these two extraordinary producers to work on a Star Wars film together." Following this announcement, there was speculation that Kennedy would be getting a pink slip, given the fact that they were bringing in a rival producer to create a film over someone that's supposedly the head of it. Obviously, that did not pan out. Kathleen Kennedy is still in charge over there at Lucasfilm. But we did have some interesting comments that Kathleen Kennedy made to IGN back in April during Star Wars Celebration, where she lied about Kevin Feige not even being attached to a Star Wars title. She was asked by IGN, "I'm thinking about kind of projects like Rogue Squadron and Kevin Feige's project. Could those still see the light of day?" Kennedy responded, "Well, Kevin Feige's project was something announced in the press, or as I suppose fandom, but nothing ever got developed. We never discussed an idea. As everybody knows, Kevin's a huge Star Wars fan, and if he did come up with something, I would be all ears, but that's never really happened. It's not an abandoned project. It just didn't happen." As you saw, it did indeed happen. It was announced by Alan Horn. It was not announced by the press or in the fandom. And then you also had repeated comments from Michael Waldron, who was actually discussing the project and how he was coming up with ideas. So they definitely did indeed have things in development. But just makes this rumor a little bit spicy given all of the drama surrounding Marvel Studios and Lucasfilm as the Walt Disney Company is in decline.
Number 5.
One John from Cine Park Rangers, where we talk all things movies and theme parks, here today for That Park Place to bring breaking news that we are actually getting a live-action Legend of Zelda movie. Tommy Tables broke the story for thatparkplace.com. Go and check out that article, and detailed that Wes Ball of Maze Runner fame is set to direct the movie, and the creator of Hyrule himself, Mr. Miyamoto, alongside Avi Arad, are set to produce the film. If you aren't familiar with Mr. Arad's work, he's recently done the Spider-Verse movies and the Venom movies. Miyamoto posted to X on November 7th stating that, quote, "This is Miyamoto. I've been working on the live-action film of The Legend of Zelda for many years now with Avi Arad-san, who has produced many mega-hit films. After the success of the Super Mario movie, the creation of Super Nintendo Land in Orlando, and a new hit in Super Mario Wonder, many of us were wondering what would be next for Nintendo in the way of films. And as Pro leaked in January of this year, Zelda is the next installment. Live action could certainly be epic if done well, but personally, Avi Arad's track record in the way of quality for live action movies is questionable. If you need some references, just go check out Spider-Man 3, either of the Venom movies, and oh yeah, Morbius. It just makes me a bit nervous is all. Personally, in order to keep the magic of Nintendo alive, it feels like maybe they should have gone for a Studio Ghibli adaptation of The Legend of Zelda. That way you're able to actually keep the darker themes of the game with the whimsy and eloquence and beauty that is Hyrule and Link and Zelda and Ganon. Ultimately though, only time will tell with this one, and we would love to know what you think. Are you excited for a live-action Legend of Zelda movie? Are you indifferent? Do you wish that it would have been animated instead? Let us know down in the comments.
Number 6.
Hello there, Vash Sky with our next story, this time from Walt Disney World News Today. Celebrate Life Day with this new Star Wars Chewbacca action figure at Walt Disney World. Life Day in the Star Wars universe is just over a week away on November 17th, and a new Star Wars The Vintage Collection action figure of Chewbacca has arrived at Walt Disney World Resort to celebrate. This is kind of interesting because Disney has had plans to actually bring Life Day officially to the parks via Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I remember hearing concepts that would have seen Star Wars Galaxy's Edge actually made up for the holidays. This is very interesting that Disney would want to have the Star Wars Holiday Special represented in any way in these theme parks, but there are fans out there and Disney knows of them, and wouldn't it be a great way to spruce up Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which is kind of a dead land, unfortunately, without the vast entertainment options or some of the other things that they had originally envisioned for that land. So let us know in the comments whether or not you'd actually be willing to see something like that, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and would you actually be picking up this merchandise? Please let us know in the comments below.
Number 7.
Hey, Jonas J. Campbell here with a breaking story. I get to be in here twice today. It looks like the SAG-AFTRA strike might have ended. This one by Gene Medeiros from Variety. SAG-AFTRA negotiators have approved a tentative agreement that will end the longest actor strike against the film and TV studios in Hollywood history. In an announcement Wednesday, the union said the 118-day strike would officially end at 12:01 a.m. on Thursday. I know that I, for one, am relieved to know that all of our favorite Hollywood stars and starlets are going to be back on the red carpet telling us what to think about their films. Please let us know who you're looking forward to hearing from the most.
Well, folks, it seems that you have arrived at your destination, that being the end. There you go, right there. Jonas, thank you so much for putting that together. I think that was awesome.
Thank you very much. I always love those little sound effects you throw in there, Vash. And to our viewers, if you want to get in touch with us, the best place is in the comment section or at the Twitter handles above or in the comment section down below. You can also reach us on X. Of course, like this video. If you like this video, share it out on the social medias if you know someone who might be interested in a daily news roundup. And of course, subscribe here for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.